It is a new year, it's 2022, and we are back here at Flux with the top 5 website I've seen over the last 5 months to inspire you and give you ideas for your next web design project. Let's get started. Today I've got 4 amazing groundbreaking portfolios and 1 report I want to show you. Let's start off with the personal website of Nathan Riley. All right, so this is it. It's basically a portfolio for a designer who is into 3D art and stuff like that. And you can see when I'm starting to scroll through this, it starts off kind of like the normal maybe parallax grid effect, but you can see there's really nice details here. I don't know if you can see it. While I'm scrolling, you can see the images are getting a little bit of a tilt. It's really a micro interaction, but it gives a really nice feeling to this. I'm gonna reload this again so you can watch the intro animation once again, how everything is kind of like moving into place. Really nice animation. Now the beautiful thing about this is you can see it's basically the same images, and we're going back into the basically the start again and again. When you can see the Nathan Riley, it's just changing the colors, but it feels like an infinite scroll, even though it's not too much of a content. It's a beautiful idea that even if you don't have so much, going on, you can still make it feel like there's a lot going on. Now I'm going to click this, and then we can see this animation again expanding into this a little bit more information about him. Again, it's really nice that it changes the colors. So if we're going to scroll here, basically it's the same thing, but everything is dynamic. The motion here on this website, obviously he's a motion designer, but it's really subtle. And I'm gonna show you the last detail here that I think is really fantastic. We've got the navigation here. And so you can click this and basically get email, Twitter, Instagram, and NFTs. But note the really nice thing, how the white is kind of like scaling down into becoming a bullet point here, and the text is actually expanding. Very not difficult to do, but very subtle and clever, the way that the white is masking down, becoming like, it's a very nice interaction. I don't know if I'm going to seal this, but I think this is pretty brilliant, and I love this. Well done, Nathan Riley. Very nice website. The second one that I want to show you is this portfolio for Alec Babala. All right, so he is a UX designer, and basically what we have here, this is, first of all, it's beautiful. I'm a sucker for all of these gradients, so this is a gradient here that's following my mouse and changing things. And basically what we have here is kind of like a desktop experience. Now we've seen some websites trying to do this concept of creating a desktop experience where you have these windows, you have these little notifications here. This guy even has kind of like a game where you see the map and you can scroll through this. But I think this is really nice. Now, why is this brilliant? This guy is a UX designer. He is designing interfaces, and so the actual design of his website is an interface. And there's really nice interactions when you hover over these things. Now, a lot of the things here, they're not necessarily clickables. Okay, so this one does open up a website, but not everything here is clickable. But still, for example, if there's React files here, or apps, or Figma files here, you can basically just see a screenshot. It's not clickable, but it's a really fun experience to kind of scroll through this. The notifications change here with messages. I take atomic design approach, skills, platforms, these are changing. I think this is a really clever way, and I can just tell you, even without clicking the actual works, just with the interface of this website, I can tell this guy is a brilliant designer and he's doing really good work. So I'm just going to say this again. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes the portfolio itself, the web experience is so good that it's already building trust. It's already showing you that this guy can design, even if you don't have actual project, like real life project. Such an experimental project for your portfolio can already be an amazing piece. Look at this. He's got the watch here for San Francisco. Really nice work. I encourage you to explore Alec's website. All right, the next one is for an agency. It's called Hard Work Club, and Toronto-based idea and design collective. Now, the really nice thing here in this website, so far, it's nice. It's not something that we haven't seen before, but I love the storytelling approach here. Basically, they are an agency, and they're going to try to tell the story of why their agency is different. And they're telling it, three hardworking people lived in an industry, so they're giving information about themselves. And, agencies are saying the right things, but they're doing little to answer, the knocking on their door of changes in the market. So they're basically telling you a story here, right? So they're telling how they are different. They are doing this in a kind of a storytelling way, right? You are scrolling through this. It's like flipping through a book, reading their story, understanding why they're different, and they're telling you, here are the rules. These are the things we're doing differently. Number one. Number two. So I really, really like this approach to being very, very playful and using the scrolling as a way to tell a story. Rather simple, right? It's just typography and rather simple illustration, but it's really, really well done. And basically, I love the work. I like the work that they're doing here. Another example. This is the third example of a portfolio that we're seeing today where I haven't seen their work yet, but I'm sold just because they have proven to me that they can do amazing work and they can tell stories. So they have proven to me that they are really, really good. All right, the next website. Another agency, this one is called Mire, I think. And the nice thing about here is I'm going to try to reload this so that you can see it. This is really experimental in terms of colors, right? Everything that you click here is going to basically change the color palette and the grid of the website. So this is really very, very graphic design, I think, experimental. They're playing with grid and they're playing with colors and they're just letting you experiment. In this case, you can see that the colors of the grid also relate to the colors in their work as well. Now, I don't really understand the interface. I'm just clicking things around and I guess I'm seeing different works. I don't understand where I am in terms of navigation, but it doesn't matter. It's very playful. I understand the logic of every time I'm going to click a space, rectangular, it's going to do something. So I feel like this is really, really a playful experience where, again, it's not the normal website where there's a navigation, you go into works, you just click, you just play around and you get beautiful grids with beautiful colors. Let's see what happens if we click the info here. Now we're getting into kind of a more maybe organized space. There's also an index and you can actually see here the grids and the playful things. But I think it's a really, really beautiful way to present your work and make it in a playful way, right? To be honest, by the way, I'm not sure what technology they used to build all this grid and modular grid and color experimentation, but I think this is really, really beautiful. All right, the last thing that I want to show you is not only a really great web design. It's also, I think, really, really interesting, and I encourage you to check this out. This is WeTranfer. You might know them. They are a service that enables you to send large files. They are created a report for basically creatives, right? So they've asked 10,000 people, about what's going on in their creative lives or so forth. So I'm not going to get the full report. I'm going to start scrolling. Now, first of all, this is really, really great, right? You can see that you're going through these different trends with a nice change between them. And then if you want to dive deeper into each one of the trends, you can click this and then you move into the actual article. And it's not only just a blog post article, they've actually made this kind of like an infographic. I love the way that they're interacting here with type. I think it's very, very readable. It's it's really nice way to communicate information. And I think also this is really, really interesting because it's all about us in the creative market and the creative industry and changes and trends in the creative industry. So I think this is really, really important and interesting. But I think they've done this in a really, really nice way. Very, very simple, with the gradients, illustrations in the background, and just good type to convey this stories. But you can see they have graphs, different graphs, patterns on each one of them. but this is really, really great. In terms of to create infographics on the web, I think this is really, really a fantastic approach. Let me know which one of these websites was your favorite one, and drop in the comments if you've seen amazing websites recently. And of course, if this is your first time here at Flux, make sure that you are subscribing and liking this video for more web design and freelancing content. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.